ayahuasca chemist at number 1. Someone try to stop me.
You can't go and put your team top 3 every fucking time you win a game.
Number 1, your number 1 power-ranked motherfucking team, and this motherfucking game is Gary the Chemist. We fucking coming. We coming. Cooper motherfucking Cup, baby. He's back.
What the hell is cooking?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Week 7 is upon us. Gary the Chemist here, manager of the ayahuasca chemist, number 1 in the standings, and your commissioner, the greatest around. Okay, another week in the books, ladies and gentlemen. I think things are starting to solidify here. The power rankings, not a lot moving around, but some big changes nonetheless. With that said, let's just jump to the week recap.
Week recap.
Okay, so first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, at the very top, we were dogs, absolute dogs heading into this week. But you know what? We made it work. We got it done. And you know,
Victory Screech!
so let's just talk about it. Top to bottom, your commissioner, Gary the Chemist, another week of being the high scorer. That's 3 out of 6 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, where the chemists have come out on top. What can I say? We know ball. A lot of, it really came down to having Josh Allen have a good performance on, Monday Night Football there. And he played well. And you know what? He just added Amari Cooper. Things are on the up and up for your boy. That said, we'll get all to the team stuff. But again, my MVP, my top scorer, Josh Allen, going up against the Tribe Called Questionable. Mr. Trevor, the back-to-back champion. I wasn't feeling real great heading into the week, knowing that he had Bucky Irvin on deck with Rashad White out. And then, of course, K9 put up that 21 points and George Kittle put up 22 points. But nonetheless, we squeaked out a dub. Next, the Mighty Wombats going up against Mr. Bye Week. Mr. Bye Week, my lock of the week. Played real well. Shout out to my dog. His top performer, I mean, really good performances for the most part. We were kind of excited for Tank Dell this weekend without Nico Collins there, and you know what? He produced. But his top performer, Mr. Tracy, there you go, 23 points. And then the Mighty Wombats continuing to struggle here. Brandon Ayuk with that poor Thursday night performance. Calvin Ridley, 8 targets, terrible targets, but 8 targets. Nothing really happening. I like him, but man, not a lot to get excited there. CJ Stroud, 20 points. That was his league leader. Next, we got after meeting going up against the Dirty Burt, and an absolute free fall, ladies and gentlemen. Free fall. I think he was 5-3 at one point. No, he's 5-7. I told y'all. I told y'all. I called it. I said it. I screamed it. I'll let you know. So after meeting, 124 points going up against Dirty Bird. I think this was our biggest win of the week here. 30 points roughly that we saw. Baker Mayfield, 29 points. Huge fourth quarter. Breece Hall did really well on that Monday night game for him too. So, and then the other side of things, Dirty Burt went ahead and Alvin Kamara had a good showing for him, 17 points. But I know he's missing A-Chain in those big games. Rage Quit Season going up against the Great Gatsby. You know what it is. Derrick Henry, another man. I'll continue to say it week after week. I was wrong. RB1 on the season. Continues to have great performances. Not really running routes. Not really catching balls. But if you get 24 carries, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, you'll be just fine. And then Rage Quit Season, Joe Mixon. Oh, is he happy to see him back? 27 points, 2 touchdowns, 13 carries, 3 targets, 2 catches. So 130 total yards with 2 touchdowns. Very, very solid performance. I told y'all I felt good about Tony Pollard heading in this week. 90 yards and a touchdown, 3 catches for -5 yards. But hey, that's actually positive points in our league. Cam Akers just got traded over to Minnesota. It's time to start cutting bait on some of those guys. I know he's looking forward to having Jonathan Taylor back healthy. So there you go. The Great Gatsby taking in a dub. And then next on our list, Go Pack Go. And Mr. Cincy Lights. Mr. Cincy Lights are number 1 in our power rankings. Going up against Go Pack Go, a man who may have won every game this season, I think, that he's played, but couldn't really take the median in these last 2 weeks. His top performer, Jordan Love, 26 points. What a performance. And then the other side of things, Bijan Robinson, 25 points. I know you getting happy, but some pause for concern on Mr. Bijan, which we'll get to. But there you go, 105 to 98 points. And then the last one of the closest ones of the season. It was looking like the kneecap collectors came in big favorites, with a lot of plus matchups. And he had a good performance. The kneecap collectors, they took the median this week as well, but had a 10-point loss to cop off my hawk. So kneecap collector, top performer. Joe Burrow had a rush for a touchdown, which really kind of elevated his stats there. But 19.8 points, and then cop off my hawk. What a performance out of his wide receivers. Mike Evans absolutely locked down by Lattimore. So Chris Godwin put up 35 points. Wow. And then he got a touchdown out of Hunter Henry. A touchdown out of Hunter Henry. He's a happy man when he gets a touchdown out of his tight end. Romeo Dobbs, a pick up and play, 2 touchdowns. Got to get happy about that. Terry McLaurin continues to just be an absolute dog. And Brandon Aubrey, number 1 kicker in the season. But there you go. Cop off my hawk. Second highest score of the week behind yours truly, 144 to 134. Let's get to our next little segment here. And by the way, no skull fucks this week. Very disappointed in all y'all. Very disappointed. Very disappointed. Did I mention I was very disappointed? Next.
Waiver Wire.
The waiver wire. There we go. So at the very top, oh, by the way, I didn't mention. We're bringing out the hooks today. So at the very top, Demario Douglas. A lot of us anticipated him to be the pickup of the week. I didn't get around to putting waiver wire claims. Busy Tuesday. But Demario Douglas, $21 bid. I look at this pickup and I think, yes, Demario Douglas, great pickup, right? But at the same time, how much money does Cop Off My Hawk have left to pick up a wide receiver when he's kind of deep at having guys to plug and play at receiver? So we'll see, but expect a move sometime this week. Cop Off My Hawk. He's been known to trade. Historically, he's been known to trade. So with that said, we're gonna go with we're gonna see what's gonna happen. I'm expecting a trade. Expecting a trade. So the other thing I wanted to highlight, Tyler Algier, a great pickup by the great Gatsby. Tyler Algier, we'll get into the stats, but there's a lot to get concerned about with Bijan, a lot to get happy about with Tyler Algier. A couple of his other running backs got picked up this week. Vidal didn't really play a lot of snaps. Sean Tucker, that might turn into a crowded backfield. I believe he has a tough matchup this week. Ray Davis has a tough matchup this week. Trey Tucker, a very solid pickup by Mr. Bye Week. And then Zach Ertz, a solid tight end pickup. But tight end. Tight end's been an absolute shit show this season, ladies and gentlemen. So there you go. That's your waiver wire. Let's get to the next.
Power rankings.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. And I know a lot of you guys are wondering, what's going to happen this week? What's going to happen with the power rankings, okay? Because as y'all know, there's a couple of teams that may be making a little bit of a rise. A couple of teams a little bit of a fall, but not a lot of big changes. Because a lot of the free fallers have been free falling for a hot minute now, okay? So, there we go. Let's get to our number 12.
Number 12.
There we go. No change, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely no change. So, Mr. Gideon, number 10 on the season, 4-8. He was very happy to get Mr. Joe Mixon back. I know that. And Stephon Diggs, with Nico out, this is his time to shine. And he performed well. He's hoping for Jonathan Taylor to come back. But until we can really get some actual news out of Puka Nacua, I'm not feeling very excited about Gideon's team here. Puka Nacua, this is not like Cooper Kupp's injury in the sense that this is actually going to be potentially something that keeps him out a little bit longer than we anticipated. So without Cooper Kupp, I think his team is really hurting. His wide receivers, Rashid Shaheed, look, man, it's just in my heart of hearts, I just know I can't get excited about him. Okay, he's having to start three tight ends in this league right now. I'm very, very concerned for Mr. Gideon. Now, he spent that early pick on Patrick Mahomes, but he's riding with Brock Purdy, which is a good choice. Good choice. So there you go. Number 12, Mr. Gideon. Thanks for playing. We'll take your money real soon. Next.
Number 11.
Number 11. There we go. Staying put. The mighty Wombats. At the very bottom, 2-10. Not a lot to get excited about this year. A man who played very, very well last year with Christian McCaffrey at the helm, but not a lot to get excited about. Okay. So, Brandon Ayuk. Man, that is a crowded wide receiver core. Brandon Ayuk's going to have his weeks. Kyle Shanahan, I feel like the Lions do a really good job of spreading the ball around. But with the 49ers offense, it feels like somebody goes off every week and then everyone else is kind of consistent. Mostly everyone's healthy now. Once Christian McCaffrey comes back, they're going to go right back to running that football hard. But Chuba Hubbard, they just opened up the practice window for Jonathan Brooks. Najee Harris may or may not have gotten hurt. I'm not sure, but there's going to be a quarterback change. Over in Pittsburgh, which, a lot of people are a little angry about. The reason why, Justin Fields, 4-2, one pick on the season, 10, not a lot to get mad about, but we'll see. And then, once you go down the list, a lot of guys who, he's starting 2 tight ends this week. Austin Eckler, 10 points roughly. Devontae Adams, he's going to get a nice little tick up with the Jets offense there. But, oh, man, Calvin Ridley. I love Calvin Ridley. So it hurts to see him kind of do that. But either way, there you go. Number 10, the mighty Wombats. The mighty Wombat, Mr. Mike Hoffman. Number 11. Woo, why did I say number 10? Ladies and gentlemen, it's already starting to hit.
Number 10.
Or truly at number 10. F the median, down one spot. Mr. F the median. He's 11th in our standings right now, sitting there at 3-9. So, Breece Hall finally started looking like Breece Hall. And I told y'all before the season, I wasn't feeling Josh Jacobs. I couldn't really support why I didn't feel good about Josh Jacobs, but I didn't feel good about Josh Jacobs. And you know what? I was right. Going down his list here, Deebo Samuel, another solid week, that just occurred for him. I'm happy for him. I like Deebo. But Josh Downs, man, I love Josh Downs, but when Anthony Richardson comes back, unless he somehow found a way to actually throw a football over the, while he's been out here, it's not looking too good. Conklin's been playing real well, but now we just, inserted Mr. Devontae Adams back into that lineup. By the way, did y'all see that clip of Devontae Adams popping out on Pat McAfee's show behind Aaron Rodgers? They might have slept together. Who knows? So Jaden Reed's been one of the best wide receivers on the season. Jordan Love's going to throw touchdowns. Jordan Love's going to throw the ball. It's going to look nice. And then on his bench, a lot of backup running backs where, Aaron Jones, we don't know how long he's going to be out. He's Aaron Jones. He gets hurt. Okay. Then you got Jerome Ford. Nick Chubb's coming up. And Jerome Ford's hurt. And Zach Charbonnet, K9, too good. But, you might be able to fit him in. Oh, and he has Dak. Dak, trash. But there you go. Number 10, the median. F the median, down one spot, number 10. So somebody's got to be moving up, right?
Number 9.
Somebody's got to be moving up. But unfortunately, it does not cop off my hawk, my hookah brethren. It's not going to be him. So, I hit kind of hard. So, right off the bat, Demario Douglas was a good pickup in a sense that, I like Demario Douglas. He's been getting a big snap share lately, or target share. And then now, honestly, Drake May looks pretty good. Drake May threw more touchdowns in that game than Jacoby Brissett has all season. But when we look at his team, it starts and stops with his running backs. So Brian Robinson has a very good start to the season in a prolific offense. But we're looking at a guy who does not catch the ball. What does he have, 5 catches on the season, 8 catches on the season? Something like that. It's single digits. And we don't know how long it's going to keep lasting or he can keep scoring. But it's a prolific offense, so it might look well. Now behind him, what does he got? Nothing. Ty Chandler, you could get excited about him here and there, but it's not this week. Not against the Detroit Lions. No. Then Travis Etienne, he's already hurt, and he hasn't really looked good. So I know he's going to likely make a move. Rashad White, that backfield's going to get even more crowded. Coach already said that they're going to use Sean Tucker more, so we'll see. Now, his bread and butter is going to be his wide receivers. I'll try to make this quick. Picked up Demario Douglas, another nice depth piece. But Garrett Wilson, they were force-feeding him the football. It felt like things were really getting playing right into his game. But with Devontae Adams, him and Rodgers are butt buddies. And again, Rodgers saying here that I don't have that much power, bruh. He's got a lot of power. Terry McLaurin, great season. Pittman, we'll see as Anthony Richardson comes back, but a very solid wide receiver. And they went and picked up Caleb Williams, who we'll see. A lot to kind of think about in the next coming weeks. But there you go, down one spot, Mr. Cop off my hawk. Look for a trade to come in soon.
Number 8.
So somebody's got to go up, right? And here you go, Mr. Bye Week, up 2 spots into number 8. He's 6-6 on the season, a middling team. Of course, we all talk about J.K. Dobbins now that Gus Edwards is out. He's been playing good ball, continued to get the bulk of the carries for that team. Okay, it is moving. The bulk of the carries for that team. I'm not concerned about Vidal. Vidal got what, like 4 rushing attempts? I think he only played on like 5 rushing snaps. You're not gonna get a lot of productivity out of there, but who knows? Maybe they'll use him a little more. They love throwing the football. Tracy and Singletary is going to be interesting because Tracy has looked very, very good, and I'm wondering if he's looked so good that they're going to start implementing him into the offense. This could end up being a running back by committee, and the thing that was going for Singletary was the fact that he was really, taking up a lot of those balls. And Daniel Jones has been rushing the ball a lot lately, a lot. And sometimes when they're in the red zone, they'll just do quarterback draws, boom, boom, boom. Daniel Jones is going like, screw it. I don't got neighbors. I'm going to go. And then Mike Evans, Marshawn Lattimore, it's okay. That happens every year. Tank Dell is still Tank Dell. I think that while Nico's out, definitely will be contributing. But then his bench, Christian Watson coming off a good week. Mark Andrews, is he back? I wanted to kind of mention this. I know that we're way over here, but I wanted to mention him from Mark Andrews. Back to back, very solid weeks out of Mark Andrews. Plays in line less than Isaiah Likely, surprisingly, and they're trying to be a little more particular about when they're getting him on the field because it seems like they're trying to have him actually catch the football and yield targets. So he might be coming back in a year where tight ends are slowly picking up here. Mark Andrews might be back. So there you go, up 2 spots, Mr. Bye Week. Congratulations. Next one.
Number 7.
There you go. So staying put, the kneecap collector with a golden skull fuck to his name. The kneecap collector, despite being 3rd in points, 3rd in the rankings, 8-4, he is still number 7 in my power rankings. And why is that? I am very concerned about his running backs. James Conner has played well, but James Conner, he's a bell cow, but he gets hurt. I'm expecting as the season goes on that Trey Benson might start getting more touches. That said, behind him, what has he got? Swift coming off of back-to-back, I believe, good games, but to be honest, the Rams defense was not playing well that week. Carolina and Jacksonville, but he comes back, he gets Washington, Arizona, but then he'll start hitting a rough stretch there. Even during his playoffs, he's got to go up against, what is that? Detroit. Look at this. Minnesota, Detroit, San Francisco, Minnesota, Detroit. That's going to be a tough setup right there. And then Sean Tucker, it's going to be a very crowded backfield. Alexander Madison, I'm not going to get excited about anybody in that Raiders offense. Too excited about anybody in that Raiders offense. They're going to be throwing the football, especially running backs. Fields is likely going to get benched, but Burrow's been playing well. And I don't really need to go too much into depth about his wide receivers. But again, it's all about Tyreek. Can Tyreek come back? Can Tyreek produce? Because if he can, the kneecap collector is going to be doing much better down the road. But really not moving up, not moving down. Mr. Kneecap Collector, number 7 in our power rankings. Let's get to the top half. The top half of the rankings.
Number 6.
An absolute free fall, ladies and gentlemen. Early on, people are like, you're not putting respect on his name. He's number 9th in our standings right now. He's 5-7. Very reliant on a handful of guys. And down 1 spot at number 6, Mr. Dirty Burt. Now, he's getting some reinforcements back. Likely this week with Cooper Kupp. Okay, Puka Nacua is still going to be out a couple of weeks. Cooper Kupp's going to turn to a stud. Amon-Ra, stud, right? Both of those guys are absolute dog. Now, Achane, Mostert's back. Offense looks like shit. We're gonna have to wait and see how things look when Tua comes back. And the talk around town is that Tua will be back. He's gonna play this season. Kamara's been playing really well. So that's good. But then you got what pick? I don't like Pickens at all. I don't like his attitude. I don't like his game. I mean, like, look, this is a contested catcher, but I mean, Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. Jordan Mason's hurt. They'll likely keep him out this week, and he's hoping that he's going to get some of these guys back, Hawkinson and Chubb. Now with Chubb, he's the only guy there. Everyone left. Cooper's gone. Okay, forgot to touch base on who actually has Cooper, but whatever. He's gone. Keon Coleman, downgrade. He's sitting at number 6 for me, but continues his free fall. There you go. Number 6, Dirty Bird. Let's get to number 5.
Number 5.
There you go. Number 5. Go Pack Go. Down 1 spot. Go Pack Go. Now, Go Pack Go. He's been winning a lot of his games. Hasn't been hitting the median recently, and it's kind of a testament to like what kind of guys he has, right? A lot of consistent mofos out here. Saquon Barkley coming off back-to-back bad games, but I'm not going to get concerned about Saquon Barkley. No siree. Jahmyr Gibbs, he'll be just fine. Jordan Love continues to sling it. So, great set of 3 right there. Now, when it comes to his wide receivers, Metcalf, they took away a 50-yard touchdown over some stupid Kenneth Walker move there. But Mr. Go Pack Go, Mr. No Pack No, really starts to struggle past that. At tight end, he's picking up Zach Ertz. Flowers actually has looked pretty good. I actually feel good about Flowers. But then when you look at his flex pieces, that's where I have question marks. Now, with Myers, has had some good games this season. No Devontae Adams, maybe his touches start going up, but maybe they don't move the balls much, losing a lot of offensive snaps there. Xavier Worthy's not somebody I'm going to get excited about. Zach Moss has been really seceding a lot of his touches to Mr. Chase Brown. Chase Brown this week, more snaps, more targets, more rushes. So then who else do you get excited about on his defense? Absolutely nobody. Or on his bench, nobody. I mean, he's carrying Aaron Rodgers, Javonte Williams, Michael Wilson. I mean, he's going to be struggling when these bye weeks are coming up. So that's why he's sitting at number 5, down 1 spot. Mr. Go Pack Go. Mr. No Pack No. Next.
Number 4.
Up 1 spot. The great Gatsby on a run here. I believe at one point he might have been 1-7 or something like that. Got a couple wins in a row. But let's take a deep dive look at his team and what's really gone right for him. First and foremost, you can't talk about the great Gatsby without talking about Derrick Henry, King Henry. Okay, so King Henry, RB1 on the season, been an absolute stud. Doesn't catch the ball at all, but I don't know. You know what? Maybe it doesn't matter. Okay. Ramondre receiving RB2. Clearly, Gibson was not the guy. They started going to a timeshare right after that. So when they bring back Ramondre, maybe they'll start making sure that he continues that bell cow role. But the thing that I love about the great Gatsby, the reason why I always continue to feel good about him, it's the bench. A lot of these guys, like when I just talked about Go Pack Go, not excited about the bench, how's he going to get through the bye weeks? I look at the great Gatsby. I think he's going to start thriving here in these next handful of weeks. Tyler Algier, great pickup. I wrote down a couple of little stats on Tyler Algier, but essentially, when you look at it, he got more carries than Bijan, 18 and 15. He got more yards, 105 to 95. Played more on rushing snaps, 22 to 15. Now, when it came to passing, he played a lot less passing snaps. 4 passing snaps to 18 passing snaps for Bijan Robinson. Now, with that said, when you look at the red zone touches, we might have to... You're getting a little more time, my friend, because I forgot to click it. But when you look at the red zone touches, vastly in favor of Tyler Algier. Might be a guy you can plug and play. And then Amari Cooper, big jump up for him, going from Deshaun, I can't throw a football, I'm a serial molester, rapist, whatever you want to call him, all the way up to Josh Allen, the white stallion himself. So Amari Cooper, I'm expecting good things out of him. Lazard's a decrease, but I mean, were you really even ever going to get excited about Lazard? He might catch a random ball here and there, but that's about it. And then Jalen Waddle, we'll see. This is a guy you've been stashing on your bench, rightfully so, not touching until Tua comes back, rightfully so. So I didn't touch on his starters, but y'all know I'm a JSN guy. The Juju Smith-Schuster pickup was phenomenal with Jamar Chase, and then Sutton. I think he probably ends up switching him out, but really a very solid team. So he's sitting there, number 4, up 1 spot. The great Gatsby, owner of King Henry. Next.
Number 3.
fresh off a loss. Number 2 in our power rankings. The Tribe Called Questionable. By the way, I didn't mention Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers for Mr. Gatsby. Big increase. No Devontae Adams. Man. Brock Bowers. He's been good. Okay. Tribe Called Questionable. Surprising inactivation of James Cook heading into Monday night, but he was prepared for it. That said, what do we like about his team? Why is he sticking here? And number 3, because really, well, I'll just guys team. I can't read my notes. K9, great back. He's going to continue to get his touches. He's going to continue to look good. JJ, can't go wrong with JJ. Xavier Legette, his snap share when he's healthy has been increasing. I like that. Of course, Deontay Johnson, he runs that fucking team. But Xavier Legette's been looking pretty good for a rook. And then, the thing with rookies, they tend to produce more later in the season. George Kittle's been an absolute monster. Really starting to look like... There was like this little lull in the middle of his career where he was really being spoken to as the best pure tight end because he can block and all these things. But the pass catching stuff started taking little dips here. But really starting to pick up those pass attempts. DeAndre Hopkins, he's washed. Mostert, another old man. Bucky Irvin's going to be a crowded backfield. Ray Davis this week going up against a tough rushing defense in Tennessee. He's hoping Marvin Harrison comes back, but with that concussion protocol, who knows? I think he actually misses this week. Keenan Allen, I like Keenan, but he might get hurt. And Slane, I like Slane. So Jonathan Brooks, the practice window has opened up for him, so he might actually be coming in to come save him real soon. But there you go, the back-to-back champion. The Tribe Called Questionable. Mr. Trevor, number 3, staying. Next.
Number 2.
Number 2, the Cincinnati Lights. First time all year he's dropped in our power rankings. And I think we have to talk, when we talk about Cincinnati Lights, you have to talk about his draft strategy, going hero RB, having a guy like Bijan Robinson coming off a very hot game, potential sell real high candidate. But all the things I said, he's coming off a big game, but Tyler Allgeier's getting those red zone touches. The nice part is Bijan continues to be involved in the passing game, but more and more, Tyler Allgeier is just a good back. Like, he can run the ball real well. So I think it's really going to eat into his touches. I don't know if he's going to be the guy you expect to take in the top of the first round, but he should still be productive. And then another guy that I actually wanted to talk about, that I actually wanted to kind of point out of why I still kind of like him here, is Chase Brown. Chase Brown, 19 carries to Zach Moss's 14, had a significant more, he actually had more passing snaps that he played off. And I can't read all my numbers here, but again, when you look at all of the numbers here, it's continued to show that he's starting to really take over that backfield. I started this a little late, so he's going to get a little more time. But essentially, Dalton Kincaid, Amari Cooper, does that really change things for Kincaid? Honestly, I don't think so. I still like Kincaid. I know that when they threw that, I think Dawson Knox got his first touchdown of the season here, but Kincaid should still play a very solid role at tight end. Now, we look at wide receivers for him. He's expecting Malik Neighbors back this week. So he's hoping that will kind of come save him. T. Higgins this week. He's down Nico, of course, with the IR spot. And then Chris Olave also got hurt. The Jawan Jennings pickup, again, that San Francisco wide receiver core pass catching field is kind of hurting right now, in terms of, not hurting, like fantasy hurting, in the sense that you just don't really know who you're going to get production out of. He picked up Vidal. Sure, have him on the roster. Why not? But at the same time, he barely got any touches, my guy. So with that said, Mr. Cincinnati Lights sitting at number 2 in our power rankings. The first time he's dropped. Let's get to, and I'm sure y'all know who's coming up.
Number 1.
Victory Screech!
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been here before.
We still call it foosball? It don't matter. Ayahuasca kind of said number 1. Someone tried to stop me.
And to be honest, I was trying to hold off on doing this for a very long time. I really was. because we've been here before. I've had great teams in the past. I've played well in the past. I have ranked myself number 1 in the power rankings in the past. Your number 1 power rank motherfucking team, and this motherfucking bitch is Gary the Chemist. We fucking coming. We coming. And when I do that, something falls apart the next week. But I had to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I had to do it. So let's talk about what makes the Ayahuasca Chemists the most dominant team in our fantasy football league. First and foremost, 3 out of the first 6 weeks of the season, your boy was the top high scorer, including this past week. Okay. Down Kyron Williams, don't matter. Okay. Now, oh, you said Kyron. Kyron, number 4 running back on the season, despite already having his bye week. What about David Montgomery? Number 2 in PFF run scoring, already had his bye week, still number 10 amongst running backs in fantasy football points. I got 2 top 10 guys, if not more, and when the Lions get in the red zone, they're giving it to the man. They just paid him. They love him. Mr. David Montgomery, a true dog. Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit more. A.J. Brown, he's back. Y'all saw that touchdown catch.
Dog.
And then Wan'Dale Robinson, for a guy for a pickup off of free agency to be a consistent, 10 to 15 points, a very solid pickup, a guy can plug and play. Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in fantasy football. Right now, he's currently ranked number 5. He's been kind of up and down in terms of his top-end production, but he's still Josh Allen. Y'all are still scared. Trey McBride, coming off a very good couple of weeks here. Let's talk about the targets he's had this season. 9, 6, 6, 9, 8. Very good for a tight end. Back-to-back solid performances. The number 4 tight end on the season, Trey McBride. Brian Thomas Jr., coming off a bad week, but people will be surprised to know he's actually number 13 in wide receivers for scoring. Deontay Johnson, ever since Andy Dalton got in, 26 points, 21 points, 6, and 20 points. Targets of 14, 13, 6, and 10. Absolute stud. We're really looking forward to him being maybe like a top end 2, low wide receiver 1. On our bench, we got guys we feel like we can plug and play when we kind of need them. The Khalil Shakir, despite Amari Cooper coming there, I actually still feel good about Shakir. I think Keon actually maybe takes a step back. Roma Dunze, a wide receiver who, with Caleb Williams stepping up, y'all know what it is when it comes to rookie wide receivers. They tend to play well late in the season. Okay, so we've been here before. We have. Okay, y'all cannot deny me. Number 1 record in the league, sitting at 9-3. Number 1 in points by, I believe, a 70-point margin. The Ayahuasca Chemists are the most dominant team in the CHM Foosball League. And I knew when I started this season, I know I'm going. I'm continuing to go up, but man,
I don't give a fuck.
I just don't care.
I'm here to tell you right now.
We just don't care. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the top team. Granted, something's going to fucking happen in this week. I don't give a fuck. We're going to stay number 1 because this is the most dominant team in the CHM Foosball League. Look at my team. Envy it. Stare at it. I know you enjoy it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ayahuasca Chemists are number 1, and you guys can enjoy the rest of your week. I forget who's next on the docket. Who's next? Who's about to get the Mighty Wombats? They're about to fucking get it. They are about to get it. The Ayahuasca Chemists, we will not yield this year. We will continue to dominate. The Ayahuasca Chemists at number 1. You guys can all go fuck yourselves.